Hi everyone, this is Phil Travis here, and it is week 3 here at SCF. This is EUH 1000. This week our primary reading assignment is Chapter 3 from your textbook, Colon Symes. We also have our test this week. I've kind of shortened some of your assignments this week and allowing you to maybe focus on the first test, and I've made the test itself also just a little bit shorter for the first test as we get a feel for things. So your first test just deals with the first 2 weeks. So just the material that we've covered in the first 2 weeks. There's a study guide to go along with the test. So make sure you view the study guide. Make sure you watch this announcement early. And of course, everybody's going to participate in the extra credit, I hope. And so that means you'll have watched this announcement before Wednesday. And you'll email me not only for the extra credit, but you'll also kind of get a head up on what we're doing this week. Use the study guide. I recommend either printing the study guide off or downloading at least, fill in all the terms so you have really clear IDs for the terms. Go back and review our PowerPoints. Look over the readings. Hopefully when you're doing the readings, you're making highlights and things like this so you can kind of go back and look at the key ideas and so forth. The entire test is drawn from those readings, so if you base your studying on the study guide and you have really thorough identifications of each of those, then you really should be fine. You should have nothing to worry about. The test is timed. I believe I've given you 80 minutes this time, and it's due no later than Sunday by midnight. So we have a test this week. This is not a quiz. This is a test. Make sure you study for this. Make sure you come at this test with seriousness. It's worth 20% of your grade. And it's based on the material that we covered during the first 2 weeks. That's material covered in readings. That's material covered in the presentations. That's material covered potentially in the discussion boards. But again, make sure you see the study guide so you get a feel for what we're emphasizing on the test. There's 2 little short IDs that you need to know and be aware of. Very short. Responses that you need to write, make sure you write thorough responses. Don't leave anything out. Make sure you draw on specific details. You know what they are because they're on the study guide, so use the study guide to your advantage. This week we are, the topic this week is relatively short. We have a relatively brief discussion board post. Though the requirements to make the first post by Thursday and reply twice by your classmates over 2 separate days, that remains the same. But I've kind of lessened the material that you need to be worried about. We're focusing this week primarily on the Persian Empire. So your entire chapter on chapter 3 does not entirely deal just with the Persian Empire. So just go and read the section on the Persian Empire if you don't have time to read the entire chapter. This week's material is not on this test. It'll be on the next test. So just go and read the bit on the Persian Empire. There's also a primary source document, very short, a first-hand account document about the Persian Empire that I want you to read. So watch my presentation on the Persian Empire, read the primary source document, and read the bits on the Persian Empire in Chapter 3 from our textbook this week, and participate in the discussion forum, and then work on focusing on studying for the test and do the best you can on that test. Okay. Now for the factoid this week, I'll make it nice and short. The factoid for this week, remember for your extra point added to a test score at the end of the term. And if you do all of them, of course, you can get as many as 12 points. If you do 10 of them, you can get 10 points. If you do 9 of them, you get 9 points. If you do all of them in this course, you actually get a bonus point, so you get 12 points because there's 11 of these. So the factoid, email me this factoid no later than Wednesday by midnight so I know that you are watching these announcements before Wednesday. Email me this factoid, and I'll tick you down for your extra point. That'll go towards one of your test scores at the end of the term. The factoid is this. In the Persian Empire, also known as the Achaemenid Empire, but the original Persian Empire, the Persian Empire of Cyrus the Great, of Darius the Great, of Xerxes, the Persian Empire of the Persian Wars with the Greeks. Maybe some of you have seen the movie 300. That's based, obviously, quite Hollywood influenced, but based on the Persian Wars fought between the Greeks and the Persians. the Battle of Marathon, the Battle of Thermopylae, and so forth. The Persian Empire is associated with the religion Zoroastrianism. And Zoroastrianism is a very, very ancient religion. And it is considered by scholars to be the first true monotheistic religion. And that's the factoid for this week. Zoroastrianism, with its god Ahura Mazda, is considered the first monotheistic religion of salvation, with a distinct heaven and a distinct hell. And through this, it has greatly influenced, we believe, the Abrahamic faiths that began to develop their eschatology in decades and centuries following. So, factoid for this week: Zoroastrianism, the religion of the ancient Persian Empire, believed by many scholars to be the first true monotheistic religion of salvation. Email me that factoid no later than Wednesday at midnight this week and get your extra point towards a test. Let's have a great week, study for that test, and email me if you have any questions. All right, guys.